Welcome to the channel!
These things have Japanese writing on them, but it's a mystery how these things got here. The Americans have been expecting for a long time
Welcome to the channel!
miles away across the Pacific Ocean.
There's been no fire layers in the fire. Let's just see if this works. See if it works.
The Americans are taken by surprise.
See if it works. Right.
In just over 2 hours, the Japanese destroyed 20 warships, 180 airplanes, and killed over 2,000 servicemen. Effectively, the Americans were sitting ducks. The Japanese air attack was only possible because its carrier fleet could sneak within range of the Hawaiian coast. At the time of Pearl Harbor, Japan
It's working.
had a range of about 40
It is working. It is lighting very nicely. Oh dear.
Pearl Harbor pulls America into the war. In retaliation, America plans its own surprise attack on Japan.
That's definitely going.
But the question is, how to strike an enemy
So that's basically, it's just
miles across
kindling
the ocean?
one of these broken up placemats, a couple of bits of wood, and there's a bit of chamflery estate wood in there, soft wood kiln dried, in the middle of it all. So, I don't think we're going to have a problem getting the fire to light today. There's it's a bit of a channel update. There's not really much to go on about. We'll have a quick look. I'll try not to take too long. Somebody commented about the cyclist down in Causeway Head Road, which I think is interesting. Right, okay.
Japan is about to have its own Pearl Harbor. The Japanese were amazed when American bombs appeared in Tokyo. Such an attack was thought impossible. They were taken completely by surprise. The Americans target military and industrial sites. But worse still than the damage to Tokyo is the blow to Japanese morale. It was a public humiliation for the arrogant imperial regime. The Japanese but the Japanese have a problem.
What we could do is
They adopt the same strategy as the Americans.
we'll have a look at the lunacy that's going on. So Falkirk Council. So Airth have I suppose this is sort of lunacy that's going on with the, with the councils and the government. So Wednesday, 28th of February, Airth resident. So this is biased. This report here. Airth residents will be the first community in Falkirk Council to benefit. It says from a 20 miles per speed limit in the village to create safer and healthier places. Now, it's a deficit. So what 20 miles per speed limits are not necessarily proven to do anything other than make streets quieter, which is what I've kind of found is there's less traffic because people avoid these areas. So what you're actually doing is you're taking away from communities, shops, businesses. You're not improving safety, and you're certainly not improving pollution, because there's more pollution is created with lower speeds, lower gears. So the Falkirk Council here they're implementing something that shouldn't be implemented. Really, it's typical of the nonsense that's going on. And what I was going to point out was the I mean, this is not really particularly planned, this video, it's just a quick video. So the reason I started talking about this was I was looking at the Causeway Head. There's a video I did with the bike lanes in Causeway Head Road, and there's a cyclist going down holding up traffic on the road. You know, so they've spent millions and billions of pounds, and yet we've got a cyclist getting in the way, and we've got buses stopping in the middle of the road. So these measures are costing too much money, and they're not improving our communities. They're a waste of money, and that's what this is. This is a waste of money. So they lot should be sued. I would sue them. Can you sue them? Well, no, you can't really sue government, can you? Because they're protected, and that's really where the problem lies. But I don't know if you can sue councillors. In the village, create safer. Lawrence can promote safer streets. Encourage more sustainable forms of travel, like walking, wheeling, and cycling. Create streets which are shared more equally between different roads. The streets are already shared equally. A proposal to run an 18-month pilot scheme in the village to allow. See, that's fake as well. 18-month pilot scheme. Why do you need 18 months? We know there's enough evidence. It's a quick video of this, but there is evidence. There's studies been done to show that 20 miles per hour limits do not work, right? They don't improve safety and they don't improve pollution. They make streets quieter. So why would you need an 18-month pilot scheme? And under what legislation are you implementing? And remember, these are zones, they're not limits. So the police can't enforce it. It's a total waste, an inappropriate use of public funds. Anyway, right, obviously been impact suitable. Based on the pilot, officers would then consider a proposal to run an 18-month pilot scheme in village to allow council officers, right, to collect and analyse information on before and after vehicle speeds and monitor the impact suitability of 20 miles per hour limits. Based on the pilot, officers would then consider implementation at 16 other settlements, including Avonbridge, Shield Hill and Dunmore. If approved at executive meeting on 5th of March, the pilot scheme could be introduced as soon as April 2024. So they're going to spend taxpayers' money putting all these signs up and wasting all our money on that stuff. And yet there's a cost of living crisis, etc., etc. There's homelessness, there's all sorts of problems. But no, they spent money on this. A consultation was carried out in February with Airth residents, showed strong support. I do not believe that. I think that's a lie. There'll be a lot of people. 70% strongly or partially supported. That's fake. I don't believe that for a minute. Does anybody believe that? 90%, like 70% of whom? Who did you ask everybody? Was there a referendum? No. You just asked a small cohort of individuals, and you probably picked ones that were likely to agree with you. 90% stronger or tended to agree that speed limits should be implemented where safety is an issue. Further public consultation will be undertaken to gather feedback and gauge public opinion on the 20 miles per hour speed limit at each settlement prior to implementation. Malcolm Benny, Director of Police Services, residents there have shown support for the introduction of 20 miles per hour speed limits to create a better and healthier environment for the community. Under what data are you believing it's going to be a healthier environment for the community when the studies down so far have not shown this? So why are you disbelieving the studies already done? The Malcolm Benny, that's him. We should take him. He's the one that should be. He shouldn't be doing this. He's the one. I don't know. Can you sue him? I don't know. The pilot scheme would provide valuable information on before and after speeds and would help shape further proposals to implement reduced speeds in other parts of Falkirk Area Council. So Falkirk, the town itself, is falling apart, and so they're spending money on this stuff. It makes you annoyed actually. It's now for elected members to consider and finish before then deciding the best way forward. So I could read the report there. So it's Falkirk Council. I mean, they're building themselves a nice new building and everything. I mean, this lot, I think, are criminals against the people, actually. But I'm sort of going a bit too far here. Falkirk Council, this is Falkirk Herald. Falkirk, here's all you need to know about the 20 miles per hour pilot limit. 18 months is too long for a temporary limit, because that's how they're doing it. They're doing it on a temporary basis. It's part of a pilot scheme. So I think the 18-month pilot scheme will allow Falkirk offers to collect and analyse information, vehicle speeds after, and then they'll do a con on it like what they've just done in that report. So that report's not been done in any way an honest way. The report. It's really a change in monitoring impact it's making. The road through the village is used by HGVs and other traffic and local because of long campaign for action to slow traffic down. So you're trying to slow down business. You're trying to stop business. So you're sending our country into bankruptcy. Is that what you're trying to do? Because that's the result of it. And your village or whatever. You know, a lot of the people that are supporting this sort of thing are elderly, selfish elderly people who are getting pensions, who really they're not really in a hurry to do anything. They can wander around and, mess about and not really care too much about how they're going to pay their mortgage, how they're going to pay their rent. And so that's why you've got to ask yourself, why is there so many people in Scotland and Great Britain on benefits? They're dependent on the state, and this type of thing is pushing people to be dependent on the state, and I don't believe that's unreasonable of me to suggest that that's where this type of thing is leading us, and so what ultimately it's taking your freedom and equality away from you. The road through the village, there's HGVs in Airth go through Airth because it's a country area. There's farming and all sorts of things there, haulage. Obviously it goes through there. I mean, they need to be able to do 30 miles per hour, So is that what this is about? Do you want to ban HGVs? But you'll be the first one to complain if you run short of stuff because it's not being delivered. Anyway, right. Earlier this year, the Coast started to collect data on the general speed of traffic at the moment. Breaking news. 20. Later in the month, 20 miles per hour signs will be put up across the Earth for first speed surveys a couple of weeks later. Pilot will help traffic officers understand signage on its own is enough to significantly reduce speeds, or if further work would be needed. Decision to look at introducing 20 miles per hour to appropriate streets across Falkirk District was made by councillors in 2022, but then delayed while the Scottish Government developed national guidelines. Bullshit. It eventually chose to support law and suspend. Bullshit. This is absolute bullshit. Strong support. I reckon if you did a referendum, it'd be the other way around. It'd be 70.9% don't want a 20 miles per hour speed limit. What you've got is like the 30% of ageing numpties, ageing old men and silly, and you'll get single mothers. Think of the children types. They don't want. There was actually a horrible accident in Airth about 5 or 6 years ago, and a child was killed. I don't think speed had anything to do with that. Well, it definitely wasn't. It was just a tragic accident, but unfortunately that's part of life, and that's part of how we, there's always going to be some element of danger. So I think the 30 miles per hour limit is ideal. That's the good compromise between safety and having prospering communities and a prosperous country, which is not what we're getting. He said, evidence shows that if you hit a pedestrian at 30, they are 7 times more likely to die than at 20 miles per hour. Let me just repeat that, 7 times more likely not to survive. This is SNP councillor Paul Garner, said it will make these roads safer. Please parasite him. SNP councillor. So he said there's evidence shows that what would happen if you got hit at 30 miles per hour? It probably the community would have a better chance of surviving if that was what was to happen. The SNP are trying. All right, let's not start going on about that. He said to Paul Garner, it's better to try and stick to the facts. I'm starting to get carried away a little bit here. These are all lies. This is absolute lies. This is really inaccurate information here. I don't know where they got that from. 70.6 of what? 70.9% strongly of whom? The population, the people you asked, your pals, the other SNP councillors, what is it? Well, that's where safety is an issue. I mean, safety is an issue on a road. I mean, we're getting down to boiling it down to the fact that a lot of this thing that they don't actually like humanity is what's happening. So that you got to watch you don't end up being a conspiracy theorist, right? Because that's the thing that they hit you with. But these are not conspiracy theories. These are happening. This is you are witnessing the destruction of our civilization. This is a sort of thin end of it. That and the bike lanes and all the green initiatives. But you know, that's the way it's going. It's not going to a good place. He said evidence shows that if you hit a pedestrian, what evidence? Let me just repeat that. I don't need you to repeat that. 7 times more likely not to survive. I mean, there's lots of evidence against 20 miles per hour limits. They're not even speed limits anyway, they're zones. Right, okay, so what got me going with that was this one here. Well, that's maybe a bit inappropriate, but I see this prick all the time. All that money spent on bike lanes, narrowing the road, and then you get this bell end, right? And this is in Stirling. This is in Stirling. So look what they've done there. So that's the pavement there, and that's the bike lane there. And then you've got a bus. And because the bus has to stop, there's
cyclists not using the bike lane.
So you've got cyclists with cars behind it. So the cyclist doesn't want to use the bike lane because it's too awkward. The bike lane is awkward because it sort of goes along there and then turns to the left. So he wants to go down here. So he's going down there at probably, I don't know how fast the bikes go, 13 miles per hour or something. This is a destruction of our communities, what you're watching here. By people who are getting probably money for nothing, is what they're getting. But that can't last forever. So this bus stops here, and you can't get past it, right? It's actually irritating. It really is. This is a sort of lunacy. It's the green thing. Should resist it. The SNP, I mean, we'll get rid of the SNP soon. Which is not before time, but they're just going to be replaced by another bunch of parasites, which will be whoever it happens to be, Labour or Conservative. They're all in the gravy train. You know, I don't know I can't really say what to do. I know what to do, but I can't really say it on here. Anyway, let's have a look at some of the comments. Walk in peace. Yeah, that was, I don't know what the hell's wrong with what that means, walk in peace. So why don't we just remove it? Bird flu got them, that was the pigeons that are lying dead in the field. Just in case it wasn't obvious. I don't know what that means. Rubber decoys. This guy here, Cracker Man, he's a gnat. I'm keeping him on for entertainment purposes. I was in a car park and there's a lady with a nice coat sort of came out, and he says that's seriously fucking creepy, and well, you can have a look at yourself and decide if that's seriously creepy. I don't think it is myself, but maybe he's a bit of a strange person. Maybe it was creepy, aye, probably. Who cares? You know. So I'm keeping him on board. There's him there. See, he thinks we're under English rule. He's so thick, this guy, Cracker Man. And he doubled down when I was talking to him, so I'm not talking to him anymore. We'll just ignore him. And if he gets abusive, I'll just block him. He's obviously thick. Anybody that supports Scottish nationalism has got to be thick. Definitely. So, I hope you enjoyed that. So we're at 4169. Right, so I don't know what to say. I mean, I actually put out the forms for opposing the Scottish Government when they're trying to take our log burners and gas boilers away. and there was very little response. I don't know if MD filled it in or MD told me they filled it in. So at the end of the day, people are gobbing off about a lot of things, and it's slightly disappointing when they don't actually do anything about it. You know, as in action, you know. So I'm on Facebook, and there's a few groups I listen to, and some of them you think, well, are you really going to do anything? You know? Because it doesn't seem like you are, you know. Or why should I care? Is it better just to relax and just let them ruin our civilization? Because that's what's happening. There's so many things wrong with this whole thing. You're like pouring of concrete in fields. Mass pouring of concrete in fields. Right here, right where we are, up Bannockburn. And then it's fine, isn't it? No problem, nobody bothers. Selling off green belt land to build houses. So it's the corrupt Stirling Council and Falkirk Council. All corrupt. They use false data and false information to hoodwink you into believing what they're doing is the right thing for the human race, for our communities, and it's not. It's all lies. So I hope you enjoyed that video. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. Do not agree to 20 miles per hour limits, although it doesn't look like you get much of a choice because they just fake up the data and they say that you have agreed even though you haven't. Thanks for watching. Bye.